Today, we're talking about something you're using right this second, but you can't see it, touch it, or smell it. We're diving into the electromagnetic spectrum. And the best way to think about it is as invisible real estate. Now, before we jump in, just a quick note. This is part 2 of a 40-part series on modern broadcast transmission. And everything we're covering today is pulled from chapter 2. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, you've had that happen, right? It's so strange. One minute, you're listening to a ball game from a city you can barely find on a map, and the next, your favorite music station just vanishes because you drove behind a hill. Well, there's a really cool reason for that. And by the end of this, it is all going to make perfect sense.
So, first things first, we need to talk about this invisible resource. And what that really means is getting a handle on the airwaves all around us. Okay, I want you to picture all that space around us, not as empty air, but as land, actual real estate. And just like land on Earth, there's only so much of it to go around. Imagine if anyone could just build a radio tower wherever they wanted. It would be pure chaos. Signals crashing into each other, you wouldn't be able to hear a thing. That's exactly why this resource has to be managed so carefully. And that land has a name, the electromagnetic spectrum. It's the entire range of frequencies out there. For our purposes, think of it as a massive invisible city. And every single radio station, every TV channel, it has its own specific street address in that city. And you know, every city needs a city planner, right? Someone to lay out the streets and create zoning laws. For our invisible city in the United States, that job belongs to the FCC. This quote here really hits the nail on the head. The spectrum is a finite resource, period. So the FCC's job is basically to play traffic cop. They carve out different neighborhoods or frequency bands for AM, FM, and TV. Believe me, it is a huge job to keep all those signals from turning into one big mess of static. And here it is. This is the zoning map for our invisible city, our roadmap for today. You can see exactly how they've carved it up. You've got your AM radio district, all about long-range signals for talk and news. Then there's the high-end FM district, zoned for high-quality music. And, of course, the huge TV district, which needs a ton of bandwidth for video. Ready to take a tour? Let's start with the oldest neighborhood in town. First stop is AM radio, the Long Ranger. Yeah, we're calling this the Old Town District for a good reason. AM radio lives on what's called the medium wave band, and the real secret sauce for AM is all about how its signal travels. During the day, it sends out a ground wave that literally follows the curve of the Earth. It's pretty cool and gives it incredible range. But the real magic, that happens at night. We'll get to that in a sec. The downside? AM's a little sensitive. You know that crackle you hear during a thunderstorm? Yeah, that's AM's biggest weakness. Okay, check this out. Day versus night. During the day, AM is your steady, reliable regional station. But at night, everything changes. The ionosphere, way up in the atmosphere, turns into a giant mirror for these signals. Seriously, the signal shoots up, bounces off, and comes back down hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles away. That's skywave. And that is exactly why you can be driving in the middle of nowhere and suddenly hear a station from a city 3 states over. It's not magic, it's just really cool physics. All right, let's leave Old Town and cruise on over to the high-fidelity music district. Let's talk about what makes FM radio tick. So FM hangs out in the very high frequency, or VHF, part of the spectrum. And its whole purpose in life is sound quality. Because of how the signal is broadcast, it's almost totally immune to all that static and crackle that plagues AM. That's why it's just perfect for music. It's also how we get modern digital signals like HD radio. But there's always a but, isn't there? Here's the trade-off. FM signals travel in a perfectly straight line. We call it line of sight. So if anything big, like a hill or a skyscraper, gets between you and the transmitter, poof, the signal's blocked. And there you have it. That's the answer to our question from the very beginning. The reason your FM station cuts out behind that hill is because you've literally broken the line of sight to the antenna. All right, our last stop takes us downtown. This is the biggest, busiest, and most complicated district of them all, television. And man, this neighborhood has been going through some major redevelopment lately. TV broadcasting is actually split across 2 different zones, VHF and UHF. You might remember these from old TVs. VHF is channels 2 through 13. It's great at punching through walls, but you needed those big rabbit ear antennas. UHF, which is channels 14 on up, has way more room for stations, but the signal's a little weaker and doesn't travel quite as far. So, about that redevelopment. Not too long ago, the FCC did something called a spectrum repack. What does that mean? They basically took all the TV stations and crammed them into a smaller section of the downtown area. And why would they do that? To free up prime real estate. And who moved in? Our cell phones. All that empty space was auctioned off for wireless broadband services. It just goes to show you the city map is always changing. So why does any of this matter to you? Well, this careful zoning is the only reason our modern wireless world works at all. It's what lets your car radio, your TV, your GPS, and critical emergency broadcasts all operate in the same space without turning into a giant mess. It's the invisible organization that makes modern life possible. And that leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? Our hunger for wireless data, for our phones, our cars, our smart homes, it is exploding. The invisible city is getting more crowded every single day. So how are the city planners going to find more space? How will they rezone this finite and visible real estate for a future that's going to demand even more? That's the real challenge ahead.